Prior to Jam&T, I worked at larger studios like Riot Games, Phoenix Labs, and PopCap. I've really been in the industry since 2002 and shipped on just about every platform there is. But I've always been really drawn to emerging technologies and new play patterns, which I think are best explored in the startup space, where we can be scrappy, we can move really quickly, and we don't have sort of the risk aversion that many large studios fall into, holding us back. Jam&T Studio was founded to solve loneliness through games, and one of the ways we've been most excited to do that is to look at how new and emergent technologies can open up player experiences that connect humans through play. When I look at the future of gaming and entertainment, I think it's really driven by players co-authoring their experience with each other. In Retail Mage, you and your friends are wizards working at magical IKEA. You help obnoxious customers find the perfect item while the world plays back with you. When I worked at Riot, I worked with an amazing user research director who actually went on to lead their entire insights department. His name's David Pavlis, and he taught me so much about the space. And one of the big conclusions I really walked away with is that when you look at how players play, it's really about taking their motivations and putting them in an environment, and that's what drives the behavior. But so often we end up studying the behavior in games because often that's so easy to measure on the game side or our previous tools. But you end up conflating what's actually being driven by the environment versus what is their motivations, and you can't make clean decisions. And so you really have to talk to players to understand what are they looking for, what are they driven by, and how can you shape that environment to create the behavior you're hoping for. We're working in a space where there are not a lot of examples for us to draw on or a lot of ways for us to look at what other games are doing and understand and derive what that means for the player motivations. And so we have to figure it out as we go along, and we're not even the target audience for this, right? Like the way this kind of improvisational play crops up is really in more digitally native players. And so to understand that, prior to working with Solsten, it was just me doing as much research as I could. A lot of Google searches, a lot of reading academic papers, digging into whatever tools I could find, whether it's Newzoo or Game Discover Co. or whatever, I could really easily get my hands on. To try and just reverse engineer whatever I could. Once I started working with Solsten, that gave me so many more handholds to understand, okay, what are these motivations? What's driving this desire for social play, this participatory nature, and how can we best create design decisions and technology decisions that unlock it for players that they're happiest and find really what they're looking for inside of our game.